okwale gwe basooka okuleeta mu HIV. We have professors. Medicine is like a soccer. You cannot kill him okujjako ng'oli defender nti tosobola kuteeba. Abasajja bava ne mu defense ne bateeba. How do we value academicians and professors in medicine? We value them by patent. Doctor akola ekintu n'akola patent. Professor Nazir, who discovered, who would advise us on COVID, that we need a sanitizer. Ani yali amanyi nti wala javaamu sanitizer. Ani ekyokwina bagamba nti kana akawuka, apart from disorganizing the lifestyle of people, it attaches the economy of the country. The economy kwata, you must close airports, you must reduce workers. Kakati from Uganda, we've done all of this. Government workers, we move to mujana bago babakweyo 10% now. 10% erere mie. Ekitegeeza you are using a wrong method. Kubanga mubagobyera. Ate badda yeka. The president said these people should be ngabasulayo. Why? Okujjako nga ne gye bava ne mukazi w'omugemye mpulira era nze mbagamba nti ne sex style abantu baali gikyusizza.
Are you serious?
Yes, because where you see there is a man who died in Butambala. He was living with 16 people. The 15 had no COVID. His wife only had COVID, which means during their leisure time, they were sharing saliva and breathing and air. So the man might have
passed on the virus.
Yes, which means this missionary style of facing each other. Why do they call it a missionary style? It was not a style in Africa. It was brought by the missionaries that the couples should face each other as a sign of love. Kakati ebyo byonna. Two, our researchers have only using fire brigade methods. For instance, if we had real researchers, we already have twin measles. But real measles is HIV is an improvement on measles. But real kana akawuka nako oluyiro abaganda badde balina oluyiro lubaddewo abantu okukwata ebifuba oluyiro lubaddewo. Kakati if you had researchers, I was happy when the president pointed out the usefulness of herbalists. Naye kakati ye kyatamanyi ti ne ba herbalists bano tebalina patent zaabwe bano abali mu gavumenti ye balina okumakinga sure ti eri eddagala bali babbako. Yes. Balina okulibabbako bw'obayita n'obagamba leeta samples zo tuzikebere nga bazibba owa cancer alwanye kwenkanaki. It took a judge to come out and testify that this man who is treating cancer is not fake. Tuyina Professor Lukwago, Professor Sally. He is a celebrated professor, uses herbs in Nigeria. The Nigerians are buying millions of his products. In Uganda, it's a fact. We also had a man here before people knowledge about HIV. We got the knowledge of HIV. The man was called Sebabi. Sebabi was dismissed as a quack. Then Professor Sally came out with Malindia. You used to call it Malindia something. He said that COVID can be treated by adding it to a victim more nutrients in vitamins. They are getting now. But his factory was closed. Mediandina clinic, the professor was hunted down because at that time they had only one thing, obscenement. So these are areas. Three, we all know now, even with who is not, because I told you we do enjoy what we call the professionalization. Even if I'm not a medical doctor, I access a lot of information. I told you that if you want to test that you have COVID, buy it an apple. If it's tasteless, then you have. If you cannot smell a stench, you have. Because I read a lot of things. Because for me, I know that if I follow a victim of COVID and other diseases, then the question of treatment becomes high. Why? me, I cannot just go and open my trousers for any clinic. No, no. I'm an endangered what? Spy. So,
people are hunting you for no reason when you go to hospital.
COVID goes through 3 phases. And I praise Museveni for this. That Museveni locked us, closed the airports, but his people did not see this as a serious problem. They looked in buying Buunga. They promised people a matter which never materialized. They eventually, when I look at the system as it is to lock up, this is why countries measures like the president, we are going there to buy oxygen. Yes. Kakati fechirite twachifunamu. Titwachibaye chitulyanga nebachiri sent. Kakati today we are paying for the mistakes of people who did not adhere to Museveni's drug, as I call it, and they had locked us because the only solution at that time was not to get it. Kakati today, the second phase has come. What did we use the time lag between the first phase and the second phase? We did not learn a lesson. In fact, before the president directed a new lockdown, his public awareness campaign was high. And the reason why you could see even border people, taxi drivers adhering to Museveni's medicine was that they knew that a violation of these
rules
would force Museveni to impose a total lockdown.
I see.
So if these people had benefited from Museveni's awareness program for fear, now what is going to happen? People were putting on masks to go to town. If they are at home, the masks will not be mandatory.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
No one is going to put it on at home.
So a driver who was buying a mask as a security for Museveni not to introduce another total crackdown cannot buy now. If these people were researchers, real researchers, would now know the drop in the series of masks. Because the masks were used as a shield to stop Museveni from
locking down the country.
But if Museveni locks down in the country, then why should somebody who is at home buy a mask? Because the mask became mandatory, it became a passport to leave his home.
I see.
Today, let us not cry for power milk. The ball is in the President's court and the new government. If you believe that we will continue locking up people every time you disrupt their lifestyle without an immediate
intervention,
they will become tired and sick and they will pound the street. That one I cannot swear. Because we study human nature. Why did America invest so much money and Europe and other countries invest so much money in the vaccine? They could not remain indoors, but they are indoors because of winter. God is, and they know it's temporary. This is why people don't know that Christmas was a day for paganism. Christmas was a day for paganism who used to pray for their God, the Son of God, to bring summer. Bajja, they call Christmas carols, they call to make people hope, to have hope. I've also mentioned in one of my talk shows that Museveni, this is not the first time Museveni to handle issues of a similar nature that involves millions of people. He cut off Masakati Katonga, the liberated areas, and he put up a government headed by Chigongo. They provided all of the essential services. They had to grab coffee from stores, took it to Rwanda, and buy essential commodities. They also introduced a training wing, a training camp at Irwengo, so that the people could get information that the NRA was moving towards Kampala. Goloza lwaki ekisiibo si kya myezi 6
simanyi
baali kiganyi. In fact abasiraamu bagamba nti Musa nti nabbi bwe yagenda mu ggulu Allah yali amuwadde swala 50 olunaku. Musa n'amugamba nti tebajja zisaala nababeeramu bagumu nnyo bawe 5 sigazi ali 10 baali zisobodde. Abakatuliki balina ekisende ekyokumakya n'ekisende ekyolweggulo.
Singazi ali
10 sapule ino omwezi gwayo because everybody cannot. We have 10 commandments. So I come to the issue of figures. The figures, me I don't rule out nti mwezi mwali. Why? Abantu ababeera you cannot get 100%. N'amatafali bagokya ku muliro ogw'amaanyi nnyo mubaamu agakonye.
Kituufu.
N'enkoko mubaamu enziriza. N'abaana abakoze ebigezo mubaamu abagwa. Even when you look at the conduct of Europeans, bababuulira nti they are floods. The stubborn people remain there. Wogenda ku gundi zino ensozi volcanic mountains ziwandula omuliro bifalava. Some stubborn people remain there. At times it involves, I was watching international media when in the Philippines government came up to force. You look at your this wound of again embali benebiyije bududa. Why is it that every year people die in Bududa? They don't want to be evacuated. The Bazungu,
some stubbornly refuse to evacuate the area.
Three important issues in Uganda. One, Mongota. They are airlifted the people from Musese Island. Airlifted. They forced everybody to leave Musese Island. And many of the people who settled in Nyendo originated from Musese. But after evacuating the people from the island, then they carried out a spraying. Hey, era abantu baddayo. Tebayinza omutayinza obwongo bw'omuntu prison yo kagulwaki tuyina ekikomera. Ekkomera litegeeza total confinement. Ekikomera ente muzitwalamu. And ekikomera means a perimeter wall. A perimeter wall means that I have the liberty to move in and get out. So you study this. Nti abantu cannot tolerate for a long time. Nabagamba gonoria. Yalumanya Abaganda. Abaganda batuuka ogamba tibona otyenze kwonna awasanyuko. Yes. Ab'emmamba bwe badduka ne bava mu Buganda bagenda okulaba nga bafa baggwawo. They took a decision tuwase ba relatives bafe. Ab'emmamba beewasa mu Buganda. Why? At one time they migrated to yobalaba mukulu w'ekika ky'emmamba bamuyita Gabunga. Kati I study human behavior and psychology. Nimbaga nti abantu babawadde goodwill for a long time. Kakati it is up to government now. President to implement. Mujeyo sente ndala 3 trillion. Let us see. You will hear media genda kufuna sente. TV zigenda kufuna sente. Na yenze program yange okugirangiramu. I must get money. You cannot ride on my credibility for free. Ateze sokolera wansi wa muntu. Nti sente mumukwate emidiri gyamwe egya sente. Mutire program ya. Ateze sokolera kakiiko. Apana. Sokolera wansi wa muntu. If you want money to me to involve myself, give me my own budget. That's my conduct. Kakati media gena kufuna sente mujjana kulabayo proposing free masks bazikomewo ngati mumaze kukola accountability nayitiri yatwala sente za femeka ya receiving about one makeup kuba the president had offered free masks and free ezamasomero naki
muzei tewalina accountability ku donations abantu ze bakola. Where they happen to the donations?
Nti abasajja abantu bakweka abaana mu masomero nga kyebatya ti abazadde bajja kukola ki bajja kwogera. Yes, it was clear kubanga abazadde batunulya economic era kyobula nti abakulu b'amasomero bakweka abaana afuneyo kaalya esitumulayi masikata akulose mwe situmulayi mugiwa simanyi babidongo
bapromota bafirwa ebivu
esitumulayi masikata akulose omusomesa ono yabadde asomesa abaana yayina sente in fact let me tell you kati olowooza eno abapoliisi abali ku luguudo bali effective aziruli bo balina ssente abo balina ssente zebayimirizaawo tebayinabo era if you keep them longer ku road block bajja kulya enguzi yes bajja kulya enguzi kubanga human being cannot tolerate suffering for a long time. Kakati nabagambye Museveni lokuta katonga Museveni yagenda mu Northern Uganda najja abantu mu maka gaabwe n'akyekinga lifestyle zaabwe n'abateeka mu camps provided them with the facilities. He got a lot of complaints. At one time the opposition suggested that we should have a UN representative. Indirectly they are saying that Uganda would surrender its sovereignty to UN. Ngaleti kulosi yekolayo. Museveni said no, let us have a UN observer, the former president of Mozambique. Yajja era abantu baddayo. In fact analeke Ruwero fund, the people in Northern Uganda when they were going to their homes batwala n'amabaati, which did not happen in Ruwero.
I see.
Yes, Museveni found himself trapped in a situation, a very delicate situation. Obata had mobilized forces to flush out Museveni in Ruwero. What did Museveni do? Because the civilians were running towards the rebels. They found out that they could not tussle Ogolese soldiers that had scattered throughout Ruwero. What did Museveni do? Yalagira abantu bakomoto abayitanga mpunzi. They came back at a high risk. Lwakasisi and Mugwisa started celebrating a lot of popular Lwangabo olufanno lwabukedde lwakuba ti omuliro gw'obete gufumudde Museveni mu. They even bayikoledded tulwezooli. Nawandika mu kitabo kyange ekimu ti I accompanied the former DC of Ruwero to Ngoma 62 miles from Ruwero nga tulabayo bayeekera abantu baakomawo. Kakati what's the problem? Why has Museveni failed to solve this issue? One, after strategizing, he sends his instructions to people who are not committed like him. In the previous examples I've mentioned, the Basuma were not there. The commercial benefactors who wanted to use the
commercialization of a disease, of a pandemic.
Kakati the matter is simple. They are running out of reasons. At one time the president said that I'm going to defeat Kon. We betted, and I told him that if you defeat Kon in 6 months, I'll give you $1 million, and he also offered me $1 million. But the president said the way is going to be over. Why? Mobility. Abamaje baffe babadde batambula nga nabali batambula to catch each other into contact yaleeta combat helicopters. Museveni brought to combat helicopters nga zikuba abakoni ne ba hostages ne basaasaana until Muhoozi gave gave Kony the last blow when he invaded him into Galambo. Because from Iron Fist, the man fled to Galambo. The East sympathizers said that it was intended to show that the first son was also commando. But for us who don't mind,
for us who care about the real point,
the Kony menace was solved. Kakati today, we don't even, the president has given himself 42. But what do we want now? What we want is a vaccination and research. In the accessories, they have managed total vaccination, but they have a population of 1 million. That is easy. In Rwanda, they also have a small population. But what the Rwandese do, for them they know that falling sick is not easy. A clean country, a clean family can prevent many diseases. This man of National Water, Mugisha, fought and defeated cholera. Riga lost the mayorship because of cholera. Every time it was rained in Kampala, we would get high cases of cholera. But just by providing piped water and informing the people that it is shameful for you to go to a hospital, people changed their lifestyles. Let us have real researchers. If we don't have real researchers, let us rely on researched information by capable researchers.
Like
because
all World Health Organization.
We are not discovering a wheel. If you I hear people, twakoze motoka. Wakoze motoka ngo gasemba ati za Japan. Is it manufacturing or assembling?
But at least you would appreciate the first step. We take steps when we...
Museveni's public campaign has succeeded. Everybody knows how the disease is transmitted. We know. The industries producing sanitizers are booming. They have a market now. We have changed their lifestyles. What is remaining is the availability of drugs. My suggestion, humble suggestion, is that in order to defeat these capitalists who want to take advantage of the plight of our people, Abamisha nebaleted Dagala, Museveni should liberalize. But here it is. If this, we are lucky now that if these people have been bringing useless imports from China, today they will bring useful imports by bringing a Dagala. Once all the hospitals access the drugs, because I'm asking the scientist, if this is stubborn man who refused to adhere to Museveni's syrup and he contracted COVID-19 and went to hospital and found the doctors equipped with the facilities, one would say that it will encourage more
stubborn people.
It's a question of
to give up on their stubbornness.
The availability of the treatment does not mean that you don't die.
Of course.
There are mortuaries at every hospital telling you you cannot beat up medical doctors that you have lost a relative. We even pay bills even after somebody has died.
Yes.
This was planted by the colonists in our people. Kakati today, the problem is people are dying because we don't have treatment in hospitals. There is no space in hospitals. There is no oxygen in hospitals. Once you solve those ones, because I hear now, an African is like a stupid baby. Waliwo abaana boyina okuba ennyuma emirundi ebiri bategeere. An African does not learn from his earlier mistakes. Amanya Museka said, history does not repeat itself. It's only fools who repeat earlier fools made in the past. Kakati today babeere serious. Baliye sente zino 3 trillion bazirye neba delivering echi service bategeere
atoyizo okuzirya ba delivering service tosobola kuzirya delivering service kuba ziri meant for
Monsite muli corruption levels. Corruption is like a wound, is like unemployment. It's only the ratio. But every country faces unemployment.
Yes.
What they do is alleviating. The unemployed people in Europe are given money to survive and participate in the economy. Famawanga gafete gabisobola twinza gabisaba. Neka kati nkugamba nti eddagala biriva lyaze. Kakati omusajja ye platinum nga buli agamba nenaago, you have to have 5 million per day. Who has this money? Nabo bwobabuuza n'obagamba ti why are you overcharging? Ojja kusanga nga balina ventilators. Somebody told me nti come and visit your friend Konzewa nti ali ludda nti mu platinum nti bamutadde ne mu incubator. I used to think that incubators are for babies. Kakati ojja basanga nti nabo 5 million nga wabayise bajja kunnyonnyola. We invested in this and this and this. Our doctors have equipment, the necessary equipment. Our doctors are paid heavily. Let me give you an example.
And the risk of treating the COVID patient.
When you compare teachers in government schools and government in private schools, why do teachers in private schools teach more than government schools?
Because they are facilitated, they are remunerated.
In fact, when you go to private schools, many of them don't have contracts because they fear to be sued. But they don't get salaries during a holiday. In government, they get a holiday. They are paid salaries during holiday because for them they are ready to give you a service. Is you who has broken down the calendar. 2, these people are civil servants. They retire. I was happy. A teacher told me, and I helped the teacher, not the woman, to get 45 million shillings from Luwero district as a Kasimu. They are pensionable. Lwaki abasomesa abafuna facilities ezo zonna tebafaanana nga bano bano bagituuma business. And that's why whenever you have wali olabyeko nga traditional schools zeeranga mu mawulire afuta gonda naye amasomero ga private gatuuza abaana 10 abaana 5 ne bagatuuza mu private Gondi center abana 5 abanafuna first grade ne balimba n'okulimba super B. These are businesses,
of course.
Yes, kakati nzi ekyo kindiko nti these 42 days should not be wasted. Even the civils, they should at least understand the Bible. The president quotes the Bible. Bible ekugamba ti omwana ow'ekyo ekyo yaddanga ku nsiko n'akuba enduulu ti omusege gumulya. Yakikola emirundi emeka.
Bwe gwali gumulira ddala.
Yes. Tebajja. What does it mean? Nti abantu bano bwe tunaba kakati tunalowinze one create more space. At one time they suggested tebagala kutwala Nambole batwale ettaka lyayo. Why are they not talking about Nambole now? How did they not? I have never heard in my life nti Embale eriyo oxygen plant. Neka sabala bi oxygen ne sente zigenda kujja amaje gagambye okola Mbale ya breaking it down. If breaking it down means you are overworked.
Yes. So
if Mbale broke down because either the machines are obsolete or you are overworking, where is this product of overworking? Naye olwategedde nti mulaga enfunye tekatulira mu gas mu oxygen, you have put the country in panic. Nange nze nasoma trade union bwe tuba twagala country bwe tuba twagala manager omuteeka ku bunkenke tukola strike when he needs us. Ne gundi abakazi bedda abaganda bano banga ku Christmas olunaku onalwefumbira and you cannot go to somebody's place to eat
olunaku kubana ayina ababe
nti lwaki gwe mukazi nti mukazi we yanobye. So women used to blackmail their husbands during Christmas time. Kakati today katwa identifying nze nzikiriza Museveni yetalowoleza mu money. Museveni believes in solving a problem. Yakugamba nti Mozambique bazimba damu abapotego nefulumya amasanyalaze mangi nga tebageyambisa. But the time came when that factory, that dam attracted businessmen, industrialists to go to Mozambique because it was Yuli kyokola nti azimbye damu nyingi abamu ne batugamba tukuga nti amafuta amasanyalaze geyisimba tebagagula nagagula. They are overproduction. He is aware. Instead of looking for power, let us have surplus power. Kakati ze ebyuma ebyo by'oxygen tebinumamu kabazirire mu oxygen nebyo binakola. Are we going to solve the current situation of oxygen now and in the future? Are we not going to stage another local down? Nga zino baziridde. How long? What's the durability of those oxygen machines? Those ones who are going to break tomorrow, nga buli kaseera tuzongeramu. Kubanga nabagamba, there was a time when bayogera cancer patients, until
breaking.
The Prime Minister of India visited Uganda and Kenya. The Kenyans asked for a modern cancer machine. Bantu bakyogera. Naye kakati our people are rushing to Kenya for treatment. Bano bati bakimubuuza bali bagala bagula ekyabwe kakati cancer patients you go there oba ekyuma kyabwe kikola kakati nabo bakkirizeeko banaye waliwo ebibibwa nabaga nti the mafia in Uganda yo teyina kyetabba. But in many countries when you go to Zimbabwe, a Zimbabwean policeman cannot get a bribe from a poacher.
I see.
Sente gye balinawo y'abalambuzi. Ethiopia ni Airways yatandika 1923 bayonona ebintu byonna
naye nnyonyi yaabwe bagireka.
Naye Uganda Airlines terudde na mubire eringa balloon yabwatusa omulundi gumu tutaka Rwanda ebasekerera Kenya ebasekerera kubanga ate ya Rwanda eruddewo naye eyamuyene mubire terudde bagigobye gravity corruption gravity agitadde ku ttaka. Kakati once we solve the current problems, even the 42 days is of suffering will be reduced. Because Museveni has achieved the public awareness. Everybody knows, except the stubborn ones. Ngabolaba nti abasiramu bamanyi bibatwala mu jahannam mu muliro. Jahannam temuli bantu. You know what? Those who prefer to go to Ubate Yagam, I prefer to be a king mu muliro than being a servant mu guru.
I see.
Kakati abali stubborn bonga mukolaki? Nga mubata. Bonga mubategeera. Those are stubborn people, either they are mad or they run by experience. Experiment. Bamala ku experimenting. Kati once you solve the oxygen issue, we have a new government. You solve the drug issue. Coupled with the research. Let Museveni encourage herbalists. Leba n'abantu be. Buli kintu akikunza ino amwe political scientist Museveni tayinza kukkiriza bantu balete eddagala. It will make the government irrelevant. But as the government, if you don't want to make the government irrelevant,
you bring it.
Then these people should do, these people he uses in the ministries, let them understand that if we fail to fulfill government obligations, then we lose government confidence. And the voting, we are lucky. We have just gone through an election. This is when, this is a new government. And Museveni has made the changes. Really, minister in Prime Minister's office, Yarika Local Yamujeyo. Nankabirwa wanted to be in the president's office. Because of this, Mumuli Center ya sent. Tiyamutaddeyo, yamutaddemu energy. This woman, Nogundi, we prime minister, bamutulugunya nnyo nabanja muheresi ngo bati bamumanyi nga muntu kakati yamuwadde
abakuli
liberated. That's why nti muhezo lwatudde mu ntebe we are seeing the fruits nti suspects kuba Katumba yakwatiddwa kakati ekirimu nti era media yabadde eyingiddemu nga media ekugamba nti abatwala Katumba bali babiri babate ono bamuteeka ku identification parade nga bataddewo omulala. This was the intention. Did the newspapers quote Katumba Wamala?
No.
Katumba Wamala Jane Ward survived. Couldn't he remember? Chanjo yagamba Nadduli ti Nadduli toli haji nti wagenda die Makka. Chanjo n'agamba Nadduli ti nobody forgets the day he made a pilgrimage to Makka. Nadduli at that time he was popularly known as Haji nga tagenda ngayo. Naye Nigundi yamukwata. Do you believe? Chanjo yamukwata kolu. Nti if we want to understand, n'abakazi abo boolaba tebayinza kwerabira lwe baazaala. No. Abasajja tetubimanya. Naye omukazi asobola okunyonyola omwana oyo yannuma nnyo namuzaala gundi yantwala mu ddwaliro.
Sawa bweziti.
Katumba Wamala gwalabako amawulire nga gabuuza Katumba Wamala. No. Bo baategeera ekyo kikutegeeza ki ne bakugamba nti sampo za Katumba Wamala babadde bazibbayo. Ani amanyi gye bazitereka?
Ani amanyi gye zaabadde? Ani?
Kakati nze mashini zange ate kati bagenda ziriwo otafiire bagenda nti otafiire yazirina kuba nze mba mbalaba. So therefore President yaleeta $400 million ku masannyalaze. Eripooti ekulaga nti emiti gyali mifu, waya za aluminium, bye baakola byonna byali bifu. Kitutu mukuba akatambi akabulire kitutu messing up $400 million. Museveni mu manifesto yali agala ebyalo 8 yali agala ebyalo 1,400 bifuna amasannyalaze kuba yakugamba ti akati mumutandise okuwunyiriza kawoowo abo baawogazze. Ate Museveni is particular olujja okuluma engalo ye yali agenda na Muloni kutegeeza bantu nti Muloni bantu balina amasannyalaze. Yali ne Muloni messed up yesimba dda n'agamba nti sente Kadaga alimba kizi using erongo ki kati mwali mu government. Yes, Museveni has liberated the Minister of Security, has liberated the Minister of Internal Affairs. Tojja gamba otafiire nti bassa omuntu sayidi takola ajja mujjawo otafiire buli just recommend the remove of omukazi
wa CID.
Yes, she has enforced new people in Ministry of Health ngono tamujjeewo kuba yamuwaana dda. Ate omuwaana otya yawaana musisi. I wish I had 100 musisis musisi resigned. ekitegeeza nenkuga nti if Museveni had 100 Musisi's nga lwe twasembayo nga Musisi tannajja mu Kampala Besigye yatuwangula n'obululu 1,400 Musisi bwe yajja Museveni bawangula ne difference ya mitwalo 17 if he had 100 Musisi's tayimuze emitwalo 17 mpaka lwe yali takawangula kakati nze kyemwagalako ti Museveni ezemuyekera when he detects something oba kamanda amujjawo waliwo konero eri abatwala nga kaguddeyo agenda okukitegeera akubye abaserikale amasasi nti cowardice bagenda basajja bato okukitegeera nga wasuubira ebitaano waliwo 10 abaserikale basente bali babba tebaliyo kale doubt of fresh recruitment change the commanders kuni yadduka kiki ekirala kye yakola just a mere change of things ayina kye yakola
okujjako abakalamoje
muntu Cordon and research nze nalabako omukyala nga MP mu State House yagamba president ti your excellency when I visited Karamoja recently the youth were idle. At least let us allow them to Katolaso once in a month. 7 left. My sister, the time of Katolasoling has gone. Abakalamoja bayine million emitwale ine mundu na mindi zabali mbajjako yabagambo kwambala ne bagana nga bwe bajja emoloto mu district bajja bambadde bwe babaddayo kagaale bali bwerere kubanga nga Abakalamoja bagamba gwayambadde oyina kyokweka ekibuka kyakulya Museveni has changed Karamoja bamugamba gwe abaserikale bo baserikale badduka naga bange tebajja kudduka ne bamugamba nti buwangwa bwaffe era nze mbagamba nti facility yakola nnyo yayingira mu manyata zaaki
z'Abakalamoja
bonna bantu balunzi bantu Museveni abagamba no naffe tuyina ente kaffe tetubba nzibe Abakalamoja ne basetulinga n'abajjako emmundu era abateeso bamugambanga nti gwe owagira nnyo Abakalamoja naye ate kakati abakatebangayo vice president mu Karamoja ate omuteesa alabise yes kakati was Museveni loving the Kalamajongo more than the Tesos the command
according to now we can say otherwise
balakala guti Mukalamoja lakala Mukalamoja naye baguti hapo naye awanika bane kalaba naye yabateekako ebbali allegation of corruption in the army so for me I'm sure nabaga nti pokino bwakulembera tobuuza nti budde luddawa naye abantu bafa
neruliye yakulembera ne bamunyaga
profitinga mu COVID bakitegeere kuluno bova charging that's what I was going to tell you teri batalyanguzi no era nabaga nti buyindi ejjaggoye bwa nnyo COVID okusinga China abayindi bali enyenguzi abayindi batya democracy abayindi bagula abalonzi all of these ones to fight COVID you must be a popular leader or you must be a dictator.
I see.
If you are not popular singa Museveni tali popular tiyali bagambye kuddayo
is he still popular is Museveni still popular sincerely
yes bano be bamuletinga down nkugambye nti escape route ya Museveni eri bweti nti bano sibyange musenero yene yeriga Museveni is creating big trouble for you. In the future, if it was discovered that Museveni was relying on fake 60 good European your children,
I see.
He has attributed from Mawude according to it's not me. The moment I try the law, media if I try several times to get a comment from the concerned person, that's what I because I tried. This is why every story is concluded. Efforts to talk to Tamale Mirundi were futile.
He was not picky.
He was not picky.
His phone at press time.
The president attributes if Museveni has escaped, he has attributed it to you. In the future, if it back up, Kuvanavo, Kubalo, but Doctor Babanoi. Kubanga in the future will not be responsible. This information cannot be hidden forever.
Of course.
People will come up, there will be a crack in the mafia gang, and we shall get information that these we are sexed, and we should move in a bond to find a counter down. Abafabona COVID endwadde endala zalekayo okutta. Covid bwe yajja
sirimu tachatta
abalogo tebakyaloga. Abalogo tebakyaloga according to Musenero. Abalogo tebakyaloga alusas tezikyatta.
Kansa tatta muntu
oyo mujuzi tunavuganya naye mu kalulu nga mulwadde wa sukali. Kakati mwe kimutamanyi munoonye research. Akalulu kagenda mu okwogera ku machano olw'eggulu. Many people die. Mumulabika Uganda katono. You go to Tanzania, which is bigger 5 times than Uganda. When you are not a younger
candidate.
Olabe water afe. Era kyokola nti in Kenya, in spite of the talk about Gundi, nti simanyi social media biki. Gundi Raila Odinga yayine emmotoka 25,000. Ngona yine emmotoka 13,000. Raila. There are areas where you can go to Kenya. Ngato yina helicopter. They had helicopters. So mutunulire abantu abavudde mu kalulu why they die. They overstretch themselves. Especially somebody who has failed. Ona ayiseemu bamukwata mpola. Ayiseemu bakolaki? Bamukwata mpola bamubanja bamanerenders. Naye gwagudde ogudde
toina
sente wasinze bagitwala. Those Museveni does not give jobs died in the first 1 year after the election. Make a research if we really have researchers. But researchers abandoned the issue. Political scientists abandoned. That's why even the doctors who are suffering cannot counter Musenero and her team. Chairman of Doctors Association would be saying abasawo abali mu malwaliro balina ebikozesebwa. If the number is
Mulago bwe yayogirako kululi bamusitula mangu awo. Mulago yajja naga nti abano babalimba.
Kakati singa atugamba nti Mulago eriyo ebitanda bingi. Who has gone there to confirm? Amawulire bagagula. Amawulire gamugali compromise. It would be the role of investigative journalists to go mbagamba nti you tell me why did this story of stealing Museveni's drugs coincide with the Museveni's nation address? I was watching national television because from Yamu first okulaba gundi yezo otherwise sizira nali wachibuli we are having a dinner e wachibuli ne bateka ko national television nga balaga eddagala lye bakutte eddagala lye libakwata yeyeke yali alibye
bali kwata nansana nti mu nyumba balibye. And
why did the discovery mujjukira omuvubuka yali akola mu NBS mukazi wegwe bakuba mu Heres kitufu nga reportinze ayogedde eddagala nga investigating eddagala engeri gye litambulamu. Kakati is it the only one lye lyokka mulimu ebintu ebitayogerwa. Kati eyo story yaleetebwa ku Museveni okumulaga nti eddagala lye bakola ki balitwala. Kati was paid for. Singa okwata correspondent reporter wa Nation Television n'omubuuza his source nga si bya mutulugunya ajja kubuulira nti they are fighting over jobs. Waliwo yes kati waliwo company gye baagala okusuuza eddagala eryo lyali lyabika bimeka kyenda kugambye kukufulu naki nti nze bampona singa ndi mu security organizations bali badde banzitadda kubanga nze ntunuulira nti is it a coincidence nti President Museveni nga agenda kwogera ku ssaawa 3 amawulire g'essaawa emu gabeeramu eddagala eribbe enansana.
Ani
akireta
yani yakibreakinze who is the whistleblower
a counter down from the Museveni scientists but bulire how postmortem reports because I've had cases nti aba funeral baba wane sente okwogera nti onafudde ki COVID kubanga COVID corpus is handled differently. Kakati tubuuze ye COVID bwe yajja sukali yagwawo oba kiyinzika okuba ng'owa sukali bwakwatibwa COVID tawona.
I see.
Doctors must come up
nti wa cancer oyagudde kabenje bonna bakwatibwa cancer I mean COVID tebawona balina kufa bufi.
President yasolovinga ekya witchcraft ekyo Mia am surviving because of the because of God's decision. I'm surviving. Why? I was in Iraq at that time, and the argument was that atagendangako Tanzania ali safe. But eventually abakazi babalekera sente abavuka b'okukyalo ne bakwana bannamwandu. If Museveni had come earlier to dismiss the entrenched local issue, nti bano baki, nti bakerewe. We had cases nti embwa yagenze okubanja w'omusiraamu balya bonna emmere. I saw a man who was powering money everywhere nti abakerewe ababba. Nalabako omuvubuka ku kyalo abaana bagambanga jjajjaabwe titaata akomawo naga nti mulimba owange yakomawo kabuli neyakomulira ennaku nnya ku lwokutaano omuvubuka yafa nakonkona olugi lwa kitaawe nga yenna alinga omuyire ki emumbwa nagamba kitaawe ti nabba abakerewe mutunde tata yange mugende musasule abakerewe. Yes. Kakati it was a mixture of witchcraft. But the moment Museveni came, not dismissing a issue of witchcraft. Witchcraft yagwawo. Kati wakyaliwo abasawo gwe babbako sente. Ne baganja abasawo abaganda balinga balokole. Abalokole buli lwe badismissinga kiti bakola miracles bwogwa. Omulokole atakola miracle tayinza kubba bantu myaka na myaka. Bamugwamu. Naye gwe genda ku Passover Eminence Serwadda. Passover Eminence Serwadda afuna amabaasa agawera miliyoni n'okusoba. N'afuna n'abantu abagasumulula bonna nga bazze kusaba ki miracles. You think mu miliyoni y'abantu temubaamu afuna mu hospital muli 100%. If you are 100%, to whoever is taken to hospital survives. Why is there mortuary? Mortuary babajjawo kati nza study nti witchcraft oyo gwe mulaba abazungu bamulwanyisa ebitanda ne babiteeka amasabo gabeeranga mu lujja
abale bagateeka emanju
essabo lya Katonda the headquarters of God the biggest shrine for God lyali mukono ebutonda ewa Katonda ebutonda emukono muggulu emukono mpulira mugguluwa emukono era obote yagamba mu kinaana baganda say God is in Guru. God is in Guru. I stand here in Guru. Yenga tamanyi. Nti Guru gwayogerako. Siye mu Guru emukono. Yes.
Ayogera ku Guru.
Ku Guru.
Wabula Guru kiri mukono.
Erogenera kulya Guru resolution bakijja mu ekyo. Nti abaganda bo balowooza ati Katonda ali Guru. No. Mu Guru emukono. Yebo ewa Katonda ebutonda. Mu Guru emukono. Baganda believed in the supremacy of God. Teriyo Katonda ki
omu
era mu basamize tewali asamira Katonda. Walumbe jali Mukasa jali Kawumpuli jali ani bonna babayina naye teyali akugamba nti yasamira Katonda taliyo. So therefore ebintu bino ekikoze obubinze njagala nnyo research. But one of the president will reward me. That one I know. When Museveni rewards me, name for nafasi kuba bano banwanyisiza nnyo. I was watching them the other day. Nebaga nti kuno diru ya feno bwajitta. They have already started debating, portioning where money will go. I was watching somebody with a file about the budget. They have already discussed the budget and where the money is going to go. Nemba gamba, where is a message? Me, I'm not going to fight with this time. Nze mjogedde ne mukolaki Nowa bwe yayogera ne bagana omuwuliriza Nowa yafa
amataba gaba tabali yenga yazimbye ekyo.
Fortunately for me munyabwenyeza mu ne munyabwenye ne mukolaki buli mungezaako okunkola ekibi Katonda nyamba gwe mpita shiriki wange nti omwana wange baamukuba ne baleka nga bamusi ne bamugamba nti ajja kumala emyaka egi nga talya mmere alya
mpulira
yali kavaliga very quickly. Why? Right nebifaananyi baleka babijeewo eyamukuba izonderani yajeyo ne mundu lisendera okyamulaba bamubetente omutwe mukazi wange ne bagala omukwatira mu byoganize naawona naye kati abooganize bagenda Hague bagambye biri bye tubadde nabyo ebyomu Serena nga muli ku Zoom 115 people are going to be declared fugitives in their country. Nemba gamba nti mmwe abakuba Bobi Wine ne mulemesa okukola campaign you can nullify Museveni's election. Museveni has switched a day ku bantu 200 ne baganda ne bakubira ne Bobi Wine ku nomination idde nemba gamba nti omusajja ono chairman w'electoral commission naye mu buyabuya. Why? omusajja ajja atya nga tayambadde engatto n'omunominatinga a barefooted man, you would say no. What was the intention? Balina abakoleramu. Kakati as a result tufunye gundi foreign cuttings on finance. Our people have been indicted. Our people are being travel ban. Bakomyewo wan. Ababana bakomyewo wan abamenyera obulamu bw'ekizungu munabatwala mu kikubo. Mugenda bakozesa.
Muliveni kati.
Yes. And you want to silence me. Oya change ne Diana nalimba wulira. Bagende wasenyonga ne bamuwa relief. Kati ngata kyamugaba. Sebenga boogera mpulira boogera emmere. I cannot support his relief. See, Gundi mu 79. Mu 70 mu Gundi mukirana muka kirana mu 5. Yasalako Katonga ani yagaba emmere. Bwe yasalako Katonga ani yagaba emmere y'obwereere. Emmere bwe bagiresa bagitadde mu ttaka. Ebijjanjalo babituleetedde nga tebiriiyo amata ne bagabba. Should we go back? Let us share. Let us marshal all our resources to 3 things. Let government in the 40 days solvinga issue ya oxygen, solvinga issue ya malwaliro okujjula, solvinga issue eyeddagala, buli yaleeta eddagala alireete, abaminsani, abalokola abalina enkolagana n'Abamerika, abaki eddagala libeerewo. Nabagambye nti President Museveni abasiraamu baali mu kisiibo. Sukali natuka ku mutwalo gumu. Kiro Amelia naavumwa Minister Trade. Bwatuze nkungana nga tamanyi ko kiva. Nze nengende wafe mutukula. Nasanga loole za sukali amakumi yaga nga zigumbye mutukula. Kasita Museveni yagamba tibuli alina sukali amuleete. Kiro ya sukali yava ku mutwalo netuka ku 12 mu nnaku 3. How do you fight a monopolist? If you want to fight a monopolist, flood the market. Katwine edaga ekolero wano quality chemicals. Baga nti edaga tesola dikola. Balikola under license from India. Company motherboard e India bagita gun. Sipula. Ye tukole edaga elikakanya kuchi. Do you see bano strategy sibamu abali mu Ministry ya Health nga boogera ku quality chemicals? Nti eddagala live buyindi lisobola musoboka bali ne babawa eriawo naye nga namwe mukola kikubanga is chemical. What do you need?
Nekuna ku president ya laida yagamba sawa yona tugenda tandika okufulumya eriawo.
Yes, anti kakati
kuba na dundi
kakati yayita ba herbalist baba yiga oluyiga ba herbalist atosolovinge kino ekyabwe mafulya milioni 5 buli lunaku kandi they allow you. Kawali kankubuuza nabagambye ejjo nti nze kitange yayina omusajja we amusuubulire nti bamuyitanga China. Ekyamutumye mu China yeesalanga ne yeetunga ne wuzi. Okumanya China yali mukambwe nga naffe abalalu tetulyayo muyembe wowe. Abasajja bakambwe kwaliko China n'omusajja omulala yali kalonga eyo. Naye nga yine egaali yevuga yokka. Egaali gyatumanga mu katale. Nga naffe abalalu tugitya. Nga ne roole zikimya amatooke zikidde ebbali. Egaali yani musajja bamuyitanga ani. Egaali yavanga kalongo nga yevuga yokka bweti. Negenda mu katale n'ekikapu. Ow'ennyama n'asoma kiro sayagala najja mu sente.
Nga teri agikutteko.
Nze nali mulalu nnyo ku kyalo. Naye egaali yevuga yokka sinza giri nga bamponinga taata yamponinga ta.
Olaba egaali ya
ozanyiranga ku birala. Naye egaali omusajja bamuyitanga ani. Kakati what do we need to do now? Nti ba monopolist bo tewali abalunnyanja abo balaba abavubi teboogera mulambo we guli bagukwatyako engege yagala nnyo olususu lw'omuntu era abavubi bayinza obbaga nti naye nga bamanyi we guli kati empewo eyafuuye muyina okugulindamu ennaku nnyago naye nga bamanyi we guli bakwata byannyanja kyobola omuganda yagamba muganda yabayiyiza amagezi nyina w'omugezi ajja ku lukalu neyeyambulamu gomesi n'alaga amabeere ennyanja jajja mukasa sindika omuzukulu ayonke kati abavubi ku nnyanja babanga tebabbako n'obutimba bwabwe nga tebabubba olwamukasa kakati if you defy mukasa okuleeta omulambo kitegeeza mukasa tajja kuuma nnyanja tajja naye kati nnyanja evugirwa mukasa yajja mu kitobero emengo teyaddayo kakati mukasa w'ennyanja musajja munyankole yayina amaato kamanda jeno mukasa w'ennyanja yakwata empuuta mukasa yajja mu kitobero teyaddayo ennyanja ngaebbibwamu okuba abantu amasasi n'otwala empuuta nga batya mukasa yafuluka